Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and our global media for joining this important press conference, which I must say it is on the direction of FIH and direction of our global hockey. We had a successful Congress today. It was one of the smoothest Congress I ever observed, not only in hockey, but in other sports also. And I would like to congratulate our all hockey family and particularly our CEO Thierry and acting president Mr. Saif for this successful Congress. And I think the contents what we had yesterday and today, they all made a very strong message outside world and also inside the hockey family. I am very happy today that we had a very short meeting among the new executive board, and the solidarity demonstrated by 5 continental presidents. It was an amazing thing, and I think this is something which we need to move forward. And another information that the first call I received from the IOC president, Thomas Bach, and that shows us that how important that our sport of hockey in the Olympic movement. And I personally thanks to President Thomas Bach for his comments and his greetings to World Hockey Family today. Yes, we had received some very important personalities in the world. They are congratulate on this new direction of FIH, okay, and a few of the head of states, they are now in line. So this all what I'm saying is that it's where hockey will place, and that we have really a great visibility, and our fan base is growing. I would like to say the way election was concluded, I would like to very clear to all of you that the respect we demonstrated to each other, particularly from Marc Audron. He was up to yesterday late evening was in touch with me, and it was a demonstration of respect to each other, and that is something I think I said in my speech after the Congress, that we have to demonstrate the culture of acceptance and solidarity. And I think maybe in your questions, you will be addressing to the things that maybe that will give me an opportunity to address those later. So otherwise we are going to repeat things, okay? And Thierry will be joining me on this press conference and try to address all your interest and all your questions. Thank you, Nicola. My floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Tayyab. So as Tayyab mentioned, we are joined with Thierry Vine, our CEO. I will ask a first very open question to Tayyab to launch this press conference, and then obviously the floors will be yours. For this, please, if you could write your question in the chat function of Zoom, that would be easier to manage, and we'll answer obviously as many questions as we possibly can. So Tayyab, without further ado, first question for you, if you could tell us broadly what is your vision for FIH and for hockey in general.
Thank you, Nicola, and I think that is something we've been discussing yesterday and today. Well, the message is very clear. I had a huge interaction with the global hockey family. I heard them, I felt them, and I think based on that demanding the situation, are based on those suggestions that we have to create our vision. Basically, personally, I am a man of development, engagement, and empowering the national associations, no matter where they are. And I believe that we have to create that strong connectivity with our all our stakeholders and our members. For our top events, I think we had some fantastic initiatives. I would like to move forward with that because it was not fair to our top events, which we started because of COVID-19. And I think that is something which we would like to see moving forward and try to have a review our event structure in a way that we have second and third tier nations are also participating in the FIH events. Athletes is one of my priority that we need to create a very professional setup for the athletes. Okay, that because they are our a core core family for us, that we whatever we do, whatever we plan is for our athletes, and that's something we have to create. Something is not only for their performances but also creating a better and better opportunities for them. We are benchmarking ourselves at the Olympic Games and Olympic family, and that is a journey which is a never-ending journey, which we have to benchmark us more stronger. We need to stay in the Olympic program, and we have to improve our status. And that's few things which Thierry and our previous leadership has already started, and that is on the sustainability, how we can protect our environment, and how our sport will be representing in a way that we are contributing those sustainable goals. I had a very clear idea after listening to most of our nations that at this moment is not about participation only, it is about retention of our athletes. And we have to provide those athletes and really a lifetime experience, that they pick the hockey, they start hockey, and they stay with the life. So that is something we need to focus in a retention, and of course improve our participation. Well, these are few things. I would like to say that Hockey 5 will be also one of our priority. And I felt also, after talking to many national associations, that indoor hockey is in some countries is only seen as an indoor because they have the infrastructure. So I think we will multiply all our resources to give an importance. Hockey 5, the way it is in the direction, I congratulate FIH team, okay, a previous leadership, okay, that the way they had demonstrated in Lausanne, the first Hockey 5 demonstration, and I think it was very well received. And now we are going to have a World Cup for Hockey 5, and we have to work on this. This is not only for us to have a better and better visibility. Hockey 5 is an accessible tool. It will create a lot of accessibility, easy to manage, and many of the smaller nations, we will be able to activate them, which now they are facing some challenges. That's just a summary, but maybe it is a bit longer, Nicola, sorry.
Thank you so much, Tayyab. So we have our first question. So again, for all the questions, if you could just type them in the chat, it will be simply easier to manage. First question, Tayyab, which is, what will be your biggest challenge going forward?
Well, I think at this moment, the biggest challenge is at this moment about the global situation. Okay, you can see what is happening at this moment politically, geographically, and I think the global economy is on question. All right, and it is having a big question mark on everything, and that was very clear evidence that the champion team of indoor Germany was withdrawing. So these are the things which we have to be very careful, and we have to assess ourselves which way we are moving. We are very happy yesterday and today we reported that we are in a positive direction, and I think it is the resources. I would say the challenge at this moment, what our smaller nations are facing, and second tier nations are facing, and our top nations are facing, and that will be a package of my challenges as well, to cater the needs for them. We have challenges at all levels. That means we have to address the development at all levels.
Thank you, Tayyab. Next question. There are actually two different ones, one on the finances, the other one on the situation with Russia and Belarus. I start with the finances. What are the forecasted finances for this year? And here, if I can open a little bit of a bracket, Jeff, who asked this question, we actually published an information about that 2 days ago after the executive board meeting. So I will revert you to this. But what do you hope to do to grow the FIH finances over the next 2 years, given the global economic climate which you just addressed, Tayyab?
Yep. I will divide this question in two parts. And I think, as you mentioned, there is already a positive reflection. And I would like to ask Thierry to say a few words where we are today. And then I will take over to say that where we would like to move forward. Thierry, please.
Yes, so again, as mentioned by Nicolas yesterday or the day before yesterday, we published the press release after the EP meeting, and we have clearly mentioned that having checked the actuals of 2022, we expect at least a positive operational profit of 500,000 in the year 22. The budget 23 has been approved by the executive board as well. And that also demonstrated after profit positive result of more than 1 million. So again, the crisis is there. We are extremely careful. We will need to monitor everything. We need to be careful when it comes to how much can we spend, how do we organize. We need to be more and more efficient when it comes to finances and actually to the costs. As we have done in the last 3 years, because you do remember then in 2019, we had a massive investment into our sport, and that led us to monitor and to be completely efficient in that area.
Thank you, Thierry. That was not reflecting that I didn't know the numbers yesterday. I saw Nicolas presented it very nicely, but I think it is the person who has achieved this. We better hear from him. So thank you, Thierry, for that. And we are among a few international federations that I don't say we are on a recovery mode, but we had made a very stable impact. So that's moving forward, your question, yes, that is one area which we need to be very, very strong with our planning. Maybe most of you already know that we have very strong risk management, and we have one panel committee that really cater every aspect of our FIH situation, but mainly about finance. Yes, and then there is something which that will be together with Thierry and our team and our executive board. We have to create our new avenues for our new partners, our new stakeholders, and also keep the strongest relationship with our partners at this moment. They had really helped hockey a lot, and today, whatever our athletes are having fantastic opportunity to perform, we owe a lot to our partners and our stakeholders. Nicolas?
The next question was about our position, the position of FIH towards Russia and Belarus.
Well, I think we are in this way, we are very much connected with the Olympic movement, and this is our parent body is International Olympic Committee, and we are at this moment, I must say, taking this opportunity. We had the strongest relationship with the IOC, and we follow their instructions, and we see where we also, it's not about something that we just follow, but we assess the risk, and we also assess the opportunities and some kind of issues it can create. So it is now, there is a certain change in the international global Olympic movement, and I think we are part of that. And recently, an NOC session has happened in Korea, in South Korea, that is the Association of National Olympic Committees of the World. And both Belarus and Russia National Olympic Committee was formally invited, and they participated in that. Yeah, that is a challenge. This is a challenge. On one side, I am very passionate about the athletes who are missing the opportunity and who don't have at this moment a proper rights to participate. On the other hand, we are part of our Olympic family, and we have to see which policy and they want to adapt. And of course, again, we are as FIH are very independent. We are assessing those things and making our policy accordingly. And we do care about the athletes' rights, and we do care about the global politics. Only thing which I think you can join me on this, we wish that this challenge is over, and we can create a better atmosphere for the sports.
Thank you, Tayyab. The next question is around Pro League and the Champions Trophy. So it reads, while Pro League strives to achieve success in its fourth season, many hockey fans miss a marquee tournament like Champions Trophy, which was a big success among fans, hockey playing nations, and in terms of viewership. Continental version of this, the Asian Champions Trophy, under your leadership as CEO of the Asian Hockey Federation, has seen great success. Now, as new president of FIH, would you look at a resumption of the FIH Champions Trophy in your term?
Thank you, Nicola. Yeah, it's interesting question. First, to give a full deserving attention to a Pro League, it was just like a newborn baby just went to hospital for an after pandemic. So it is something which Pro League has faced. Okay, it was a good momentum the way we started. Okay, but the momentum was not sustainable because of the COVID challenge. And I think that we have to give it a good and fair chance. Okay, I am not here defending 100% that what we are at this moment doing, but question is that we have to explore the opportunity, and we have to explore full potential of Pro League. And that is now our team is working on. And we are also, it is also under the risk management. We are also observing your concerns and global concerns about a Pro League. And this is not something rigid that we would like to 100% carry on. But another thing, as an international federation, it is not really pressing a button that tomorrow we have to start a Champions Trophy or another tournament. Okay, it is an interlinked relationship with our partners. Okay, as a huge thing what Terry and his team has achieved. Okay, in the delivery of the rights to the sponsors and our stakeholders, that we are under a few. It is not something which is really for us to stop something new, but it is something that we have to commit our agreemental and our all those targets. Champions Trophy, I am very big fan of Champions Trophy. Okay, I had seen with this Asian Champions Trophy. Okay, Asian Champions Trophy, the biggest positive thing, the way it was organized, I think it was a fantastic a thing for us. And what we don't forget about the property within the property, that is India and Pakistan. Okay, and I think that is giving us a big miles in Champions Trophy. And other than that, we had this tournament is very competitive. We saw, just let me go back to this, maybe before Thierry's time, Champions Trophy was slowly becoming a testing laboratory for some teams. Okay, and that was the last impression we had. And that was not only the thing that we finished the Champions Trophy, but that is something which is on my agenda. I have to discuss with the team, with Thierry, with events, that if there is something that we can bring it back, or what are the other modifications we can do. It is in the events review thing, which I cannot formally announce because this is my wish, and I have to discuss with the team and which way we will move forward. So I think I just address pro and cons of both things. Nicola, I'm losing you.
Oh, yes, I was on mute. Apologies for that. The next question is addressed somehow towards the developing nations, and it is there any plan to introduce any new tournament for developing nations?
Well, I think the developing nations, I put them into two different categories. Okay, is a third-tier nations which are having less resources, and I think the continental at this moment, continental federations are catering that requirement very well. Okay, and we try to connect them together with our last World League and other tournaments. Yes, there were some challenges, but they felt a belongings to an FIH event. But I think your question about second-tier nations, this is very relevant, and that will be on top of my agenda to talk to our team and see where we can find a window. And for them, the countries like Italy, Poland, Egypt, and these countries, we have to see a way, because there is something which is required and desired by those nations, and they feel privileged that. Again, this is for international federation, this is not a very simple answer. Okay, we saw in this kind of second-tier, third-tier nations, when you organize a tournament, you face a lot of withdrawals. And withdrawal, that is something raising. We were just talking about global economy situation, and we are part of it. Nicola?
Thank you, Tayyab. The next question is a bit of a follow-up to everything which you've just said about events for developing nations, but also Pro League and Champions Trophy. And it is, you said you plan to assess the tournament structure. Can you elaborate on this in the light that more tournaments could mean a clash with club leagues?
Yeah, well, that is something which we need to address, and I think I have my clear suggestions on that. It is possible to achieve that. If there is something club hockey going on, that's mean the hockey is being played. Okay, but club hockey is not in every region. Club hockey is not in every continent. Okay, and I think the regional solutions can be a solution, but that is something which we have to discuss now with our professional team. And I'm sure this calendar is a challenge, not for us, for international global sports. Okay, and these are a few things we have to assess those things, that where is really, because if it is club hockey, this is an opportunity for our athletes to grow and participate, okay, and commit, okay, but it is not balanced all over the world. So that is not very straightforward answer that we see a club hockey as an embargo. This is not something we feel.
Tayyab, the next question is about, I think, one of your favorite topics, the development, and it's you have worked closely with FIH Coaching Academy. In your new position, would you be taking new measures to ensure that all hockey playing nations, particularly the developing nations, fully make use of its benefits? So the benefits of the academy, precisely.
Yeah, thank you. That is something not only close to my heart, but that is something which I started maybe more than 20 years before as an education and development person in the FIH. Yes, we observed these things, and it is, I think, question is more about engagement. Yes, and we are certainly doing some measures which will be discussed with our education and development people. I think language is the biggest hurdle, and there is we had already achieved some good results on that, and this pandemic online engagement has really gave us a great lesson. And yes, we are working on that, and this question is very important for me, because our young athletes who are taking up hockey, they need very professional and advanced coaching input, and that will stop our retention problem as well. So that we have to address further, but we have achieved a very good goal up to now. And during this pandemic, I am very pleased to say that we are one of the leading international federation who fulfill those requirements. Yeah, but there is a potential to grow, and we are aware of that, and we will cater that.
Tayyab, in your concluding remarks at the end of the Congress, you talked about gender equality. And the next question is, do you have any plans for the future for the development of women's hockey?
Yes, this is again something which is my personal experience. I think around 12 or 13 years ago, we had, together with our great development leader, Tayyab, we decided I had to fight for that we provide more women opportunities in our education program, and we arrange a very special quota for them. Okay, but this is what I'm very experienced from all these phases, because something if you need to develop, where you develop your athletes. Athletes are in Uruguay, in Paraguay, in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, okay, in Italy. All right. So it is something which from international federation is very important that we grow to the grassroots level. Okay, for having a better opportunity for our women athletes. Second, for women coach. Okay, and that we need to go down a little bit more to bring them up. Okay, and I think yes, we were a federation having women tournaments with men umpires, and today we have completely changed the whole thing. Okay, and now we have an even advanced that we have a mixed technical table. Okay, so I think it is both. First of all, what we have achieved in gender equality, we will move forward on that, and we will find a better avenues. And second, we also need to work on the capacity building from grassroots level. Okay, today many national associations, they don't want to bring a woman coach with them. Okay, so that's something which we have to address and talk to them. Okay, and we have to just balance this situation. What are their preferences and where we want to go?
Thank you, Tayyab. The next question is around Pro League and the Olympics and the World Cup. So is Pro League becoming a qualification tournament now for the Olympics and for the World Cup? Do you think that continental championships, sorry, like the Asian Games or the Asia Cup, will lose their importance?
In my impression right now, it is just we decide 2 days before about it. I would like to pass this to Thierry, okay? Because I'm very careful with the numbers. So Thierry, floor is yours.
Thank you, Tayyab. Yeah, so again, yes, this you have correctly notified that now from season 5 onwards, the Pro League will have, it's the 2 first season will have direct qualifications to the World Cup. And then the second other seasons, which are the seasons before the Olympics, will have direct qualifications to the Olympics. To your questions, will that diminish the importance of the international, of the continental competitions? This will not, because this will still be maintained that the champion of the continental federations will still also qualify either to the World Cup or qualify directly to the Olympic Games as it is today. So what we are doing, we are just opening a third way of qualification for World Cup or for the Olympic Games, which is even better for everybody because it grants more opportunities and more possibilities to participate in actually the way to those events. And once we know, once you can mention as a national association that you are going to play in competition which are leading up to qualifying for World Cup and the Olympic Games, most of the time you get support by your country, by your governments, or by your national Olympic committees. So in no way that will diminish the importance of the continental competition.
Thank you, Thierry. I see one more question now on sustainability, which is on water sustainability precisely. In your view, will the sport be in a position to have water-free pitches by Los Angeles 2028, given the city's stance on environment?
Yes, this is the target, and I think I praise and that is something, a challenge which Thierry himself embraced in 2018. And I think we all were not believing in this. So, but he was so persistent. Yeah, it's a complicated thing technology-wise, and also it has, I must say that you are asking a person who spent all his life in coaching as a master coach. Okay, so I think I would prefer that playability, if it is well presented playability with this our new technology, which is our strong partners are already on their very positive steps they took. Okay, we had 40% less water in Tokyo than Rio, and we had already demonstrated a Hockey 5 event on a waterless pitch, okay, without water. And I think, yes, this is something, it is developing, it is in a development phase. And our target, Paul from Sports Group yesterday clearly mentioned that it will be well tested at the 2026 World Cup, and that will give us a green signal to use this in 2028 Olympics. So that is helping this environment. It's a very big step, and I don't see it. I was thinking before is a compromise. It is not. It is something that we can adapt. It is about playability, and most importantly, which he mentioned clearly. I had another lecture from him in 1 hour last week. It is about the players' athletes' welfare. That's important, and global climate. So it is a complex thing, and I think with this complexity, if our partners are achieving this goal, I really admired the step forward for sustainability. I would like to ask Thierry on this one as well, because he is very passionate about it.
Thank you, Tayyab. Yes, you're right. 2018, when I joined FIH, I made literally the claim at the Congress on my own to say this is what we need to achieve. You're right, a lot of people were quite skeptic if we will ever achieve this, but for those who have seen actually our report yesterday and the presentation from our partner Qualification, we have clearly announced that the indoor, that the Hockey Fights World Cup in Oman will be played on a dry pitch, that the 2026 World Cup Belgium, Netherlands will be played on a dry pitch. And then LA also, as you know, today we are already talking to LA for the preparation of the games there. And clearly the submission from us to them, what we need in LA and what we will install in LA is actually a dry pitch. We are really, really close for having the good solution, the good product from so that we can respect the player welfare, that we can respect the quality of the game, so on and so forth. Our partner, together with us, we are convinced that those little percentages which are missing will be achieved within the next year. And again, we will do a massive step to sustainability and to the planet by achieving.
Thank you, Tayyab. Thank you, Thierry. There's a follow-up question on that precisely, which is, has this waterless pitch been tested yet at the international level? And if yes, where? Thierry, you might want to continue.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just maybe can confirm what Tayyab said already. Yes, we have tested it. First of all, we have tested it many times in different conditions with the players, because for us it is always important. It is the feedback of the players, because those are the ones which will use them. But we have tested it in international competition, which was in Lausanne at Hockey Fights. The good thing there was that it was tested under different conditions, because our concern was if you have a dry pitch which works, but then it rains, it could become slippery. But we had the fact that we had rain in Lausanne as well demonstrated that it was not more slippery, that it worked well. There are small details which need to be adapted, but all the players have been completely amazed about the surface. There was no complaint. And now, from now on anyway, every Hockey 5 tournament, what we will do from an international point of view will be played on this surface. And then step by step in 24, we will start introducing that to Hockey 11s as well. And we will start playing Pro League games on it, so just to get everybody ready in time for the World Cup.
Thank you, Thierry. I think we take the last question, which is the game at times becomes difficult for new fans to follow because of its technicalities. Any thoughts on this? So I think it's a question, let's say, on the rules of hockey generally.
Well, yes, it is about a presentation of our sport. There is an area to improve. Okay, I must say, and I think in this presentation of our sport in recent years, yeah, it is for an outsider. Sometimes it is difficult. I had some world leaders sitting next to me watching hockey, and they were asking what happened. So I yes, there are things which we need to improve. And I think what we have achieved in the last few years to improve that, it is also remarkable. Yes, there is something which we have to work, and it's also about communication, and also about the. It's not something a big demand at this moment to change our rules, because it will make hockey more easy to follow. All right. It is not something that we should not jump to that conclusion, okay? But yes, there is a constant work on this thing, and there's a technical and professional team working on it, because nobody knew about. In my time, there was no self-pass, and that's something which I missed all my life. So today, self-pass has changed the game. So that is something which is innovation, and also with this players' welfare and also safety. So these are the things which also cater into need. Thank you.
Thank you, Tayyab. I think this was the last question for today. So I'd like to hand over the floor actually back to you, Tayyab, for your closing remarks, please.
Thank you again. This is our global media family for showing your huge interest in hockey. And for me, you are the most important stakeholder for us. Okay, because this is a lot of challenges can be transmitted into opportunities, and here where media can help this beautiful Olympic sport of hockey. And I think we need to work towards, if we are talking about global solidarity in our hockey family, if we are talking about our good image towards outsiders and also within the hockey family, I think media is playing an important role in that. And we are there. Our communication leader, Nicola, is there. We are willing to help. But my only request and advice is that we work now towards more positive direction, and you can play an important role. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tayyab. Thank you, Thierry. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the call, and we'll be in touch very, very soon. And in the meantime, should you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at all times, as always. Thank you so much. Have a good day, evening. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.